Okay, this is Navy Old Salt Gamer. Uh, I haven't done a video in a few days, and haven't been on YouTube. So I wanted to explain why. I went to a dark sky site around my house, and I am an amateur astronomer. So without getting too in depth on it, this is what I've been doing for the last 3, 4 days. This is called the Lagoon Nebula, and this is the Trifid Nebula. You'll see this in Star Trek. Some people say Trifid. I call it Trifid. Nebula. You'll see this in some Star Trek shows. The old Star Treks, this is actually a picture on the bridge. And you'll see it in some Big Bang shows too now, the Big Bang Theory. And this is part of the Cat's Paw Nebula. I couldn't get the whole thing in with my telescope and camera combination. But that's what I've been doing for the last 4 days. The red here is all hydrogen gas. The bluish is oxygen gas, and these are dust clouds in the nebula blocking the light. Same thing down here. So it's kind of interesting, and I just wanted to explain what I was doing over the last few days. And I think I have to start my game. I did work a little bit, and this will take a couple seconds, I apologize. I did work a little bit on my Stationeers, and the video didn't load correctly. I've been making some file changes, and apparently it didn't like what I did. So I'll show you what I did. It was kind of a boring episode anyway. And speaking of boring, 90%, 90%. Here we go. And I love it when it goes from 0 to 98 and then sits at 98. Obviously that's not 98% loaded. Unless the last 2% are ridiculously long. So I've already named this episode 4. It's actually episode 3. That's the beginning of episode 4. And this is day 11. Still surviving. So what I've done here is I have made... Why am I venting air out the side there? Anyway, set up an oxygen filter and tank over here so I can start collecting oxygen. I got 2.5 megapascals in there. It's hot, but I'm saving the gas out of my furnace. I'll put a ice crusher here. That'll help cool that off, and I can filter the nitrogen, and I can also filter out the volatiles, which I have tons of volatile ice around here. Nothing has changed much here. I did a bunch of mining. That's why it was kind of boring. And power-wise, I've hardly used any coal. This is working really well. I am trying to do something different this time. I'm going to have a main power cable running through my base. And I'm going to, since it's a lot cheaper to use this kind of cable, the regular coils, I'm going to be using a lot more transformers, and I need to fix this part because that is before the transformer, so if it's going to blow, it's going to blow there, which is okay. But I'm going to use a lot more of the lighter cables here, so I don't have to, for a couple of reasons. One, they print so much faster, and two, they're cheaper. So I'm going to do that a lot more in this following episodes. Let's go inside here. I am a tad overpressured in here. My food is being thrown all over the place. I have finished my first set of mushrooms. I added 1 seed. It was a little warm in here. I got it cooled off. I got the grow light automated, and these are now growing moderately well. They'll be growing, thriving here pretty soon. So what am I going to do with my mushrooms and my soybeans? And this is gross in real life, but I can make canned mushrooms. And what I can do is make soy oil from the soybeans and cook the mushrooms, and 5 cooked mushrooms and soy oil will make canned mushrooms. marvelous. Sounds yummy. Not really. But I need food. These do last you, and now they're scattered all over the place. But they do disappear pretty fast when you're eating them. They don't give you a whole ton of food. So I really got to get this spun up to a point where I can make a can or two of mushrooms, because I'm going to be running out of cereal bars here. I'm going to make a shell. But you see what I'm doing in here. Automated. The light, I may have to adjust it depending on how that works. But that was a shorter, kind of boring episode anyway. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm not going to be using that anymore. The temperature's going up, so it should be cooling the room off, which is okay. I am a little overpressurized here, so I have a fix for that. First I'll throw that in there. So I'm at 110. I want to be a little less than that. So I'm going to cycle this, and when this gets down to maybe 30, run out some air. Seems like a bit of a waste, but at this point that's the way to get rid of extra pressure. So there you go. Short episode. I apologize for being out of the loop for a few days. I do have one more picture I got to work on, and I'll share that with you too. Tell me what you think. Again, this is Navy Old Salt Gamer. We'll get back to Stationeers starting tomorrow. I guess I'm going to add some ice crushers. Maybe expand. It's getting to be about that time. I need more room to make more of my wonderful canned mushroom soup, which I'm glad I'm not eating in real life. So we'll see you tomorrow. We'll start normal episodes again. You have a good day.